As-Salaam-Alaikum
Who was here?
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, madam.
Waalaikum
Alaikum
salam
salam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Come on. That's crazy, man. We have all the members here today.
Yes,
Big
sir.
steppers. Actually, there's one missing.
There's one more lost character.
There's
Unlock
one more locked character, fam. Unlocked character. But that's a whole story for another time.
Come
worry,
on.
fam.
Yeah, for
You
another
gotta-
day.
And we in. Yes, sir, man. You stepped in the game.
Everybody in now. What's up with you guys?
Yo, I have a question for you guys.
What's up with you
Go
guys?
on.
What's our like? We have to like. What's our positions? Like, who's a point guard? Who's a shooting guard? Who's a small forward? Who's a power forward? Who's a center?
Personally, I'm a point guard, you feel me? I start the ball, I make the plays, you feel me?
Okay. I'll say I'm
Okay.
a straight shoot. Rated PG.
I'll say Freeman's the center because he's slow. Mentally,
So,
physically.
I'll be Hakeem the Dream, because,
You're Hakeem the shit.
don't diss Hakeem.
Loud,
bro. That's
loud.
our Muslim brother, and that's the big
You're
off.
right. You're right.
Come on.
Yo, is Benji? So what is Benji? As-Salaam-Alaikum?
Not even.
Benji is
Yo,
Tony Snell.
he's Muggsy Bones.
You know Tony Snell never missed a free throw since D Wade was in the league.
that was a random fact. Thank you for telling me that.
He's giving out facts, brother.
Straight fact, huh?
I guess the man, and we're going off the rip. Hey,
Yo, first
hey,
off,
man.
go off,
Hey,
man.
let's do that.
One by one, yo. Like, let's not say to my left. Everybody introduce yourself. Let's
Yo,
work out.
before I reintroduce
Hey.
myself, I just want to say something mad, because I remember a man like Up to was singing this song the other day. What was that? Yusuf Islam song was like, "Who next your mother?" Bro, I was on
Should I
TikTok.
give my
brother,
love to,
oh,
my
next to
respect,
brother.
and my honor to? Who should I give my love to after Allah and Rasulullah?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, we need to work on our
Bro,
voices.
Who next your mother? Who next your mother? Who next your mother? And your father.
Bro,
'Cause
they
I'm-
turned that into a drill, fam. I see on TikTok niggas remixed it into a drill. I said, yo, the
yeah,
world
so-
is done.
Yo, you're not eating that one, fam. Like, we're in Ramadan.
I know it's crazy. I didn't mean to. Like find it.
Pause. He did that in Ramadan?
It's
Yeah.
not me that there, but someone I found it.
You
on
made a
TikTok.
remix. You tried to make remix the sheets, bro. Holy.
Phantom, at the end of the day, let's dead the noise. Let's get straight into the meat potatoes of the episode, inshallah. Phantom, As-Salaam-Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum
Freeman and Tony, intro that. And then
Okay,
we'll introduce the panel.
okay. Welcome
Voice
to
from the sidewalks, pedestrians, what a voice.
voice. No block talk.
Yeah. You know we spitting real wisdom this Ramadan, because we gotta get it real fast. Yeah, we can't talk about the past, but we gotta talk about what we learned. We gotta talk about something, and wisdom is not what is earned, it's what is given. So we gotta use your gift to move swift. No Taylor, but shout out Freeman, he's gonna hit you with that heat, because he's on the wave like a sailor.
Fly like Jordan, we the voice. Just that. Goat talk.
No sheep, no livestock.
We keep
peace streets and
sidewalks.
Yes, sir. Hey, yo, Freeman, this is the real talk, bro. So I'm gonna have to hit him with that ha.
The voice is the bomb.
Keep the sidewalks.
Boom.
Broski, I don't know why you keep freestyling the intro like that, bro. You're such a main character.
No,
Yeah,
bro. What the hell? Like, yo, let me vibe. What the hell? I'm trying to catch a vibe.
You're such a guy wants to move like he's a poet, fam. You're not the poet's Freeman. That's not your.
He had his moment.
Yo, give us 8 bars.
Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing, bro.
All I give is 8 bars.
I read it, man. I'm gonna introduce the panel. Alhamdulillah, today we have a special guest. Not a special guest. Forget, he's not a guest. He's a real member.
He's
of
a
the pod.
member, fam. Come on.
He's just been behind the scenes. You know the guy on the computer? Every single group has a computer guy. That's AB2Timez. That's the guy who's been there since day one. Has been helping us out. He's as important as one of us, probably even more. I'm not going to lie to you. He's the table of the pod. He's the Sarir of the Jibbas gang. AB, introduce yourself.
My name is AB, the government name. Abdullah Sharif Durus. I ain't scared of nothing, you feel me?
I love it.
You feel me? I'm 6 foot, but when I stand on my money, alhamdulillah, I'm like 7 foot, you know? But
Sirski.
other than that, I'm gonna say I'm just big vibes, you know?
Big
I'm
vibes,
coming
big
down
vibes.
to this podcast, wanna spread the deen, wanna learn more about the deen, you know what I mean?
MashaAllah.
All positive
Mashallah.
vibes.
For anyone who wants to know, he's the sweeter man with the glasses on the far left of the VOTS.
Wow,
Be the
wow,
most
wow,
rickiest.
wow, wow.
And he's the
Whatever
Yes,
guy.
Sirski. Yes,
What?
Sirski.
Nobody's into hentai like you, Freeman.
And
Whoa.
the second guy I want to
Whoa.
introduce.
What? Where did this come from?
Yeah. Just ignore that. The second guy I want to introduce. He has Luffy as his profile picture. Hit him up, free man.
You already know, man. It's the freest man in the world. I'm just here, vibing, just like my brother said. We're just trying to learn and get better. It's Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. And
I love that.
my brother under me with the I don't even know what his picture
Take
is.
Tony D Dollar. That's me on the Mount Rushmore. Tony Dollar, right
Yeah,
here.
free man doesn't know his history. The person who doesn't have a profile picture, but
Is that you? Did you put a picture of yourself in Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I just replaced George Washington.
Liddy gang, fam. Liddy gang.
Oh, yo, I didn't even know that.
Benji, are you there?
Yo, Tony the Hokage, I lie.
Loading, he's still connected to the server.
And then after we got,
Tony the mink.
Wait,
After-
don't introduce. Let him introduce himself.
and then after we got your boy Benji Wilson, because I tore my knee and now I stopped playing ball, but I'm chasing the bag.
I read it. And last
I
but
like
not
that.
least, man, I'm already know 6'7" of ebony success, Sheikh Delight, out here in the cut.
This guy caps on his height every
Inshallah.
episode. Like, as an inch.
It's
I love it,
always
fam. That's
different, I
what's
lie.
It's supposed to be like that, fam. So no,
Next
So no-
episode,
so no one can
6'8".
know,
Watch
fam.
out.
Next thing we're gonna know, it's 8 foot.
but fam, it might be, fam. I'm drinking milk right now, fam.
Real shit,
Tell
bro.
me, how do you get so tall? I'm like, yo, just drink milk. Hella
Come on,
Legit,
man. That's how I got taught, right?
And
Literally,
Diamond.
Thirsty.
Diamond.
AB,
Come on.
Sir, fam.
let's initiate you. To be honest, we had a previous episode where we were discussing our previous Ramadans and how nostalgic it is every time Ramadan comes about. Sorry about that. How Ramadan comes about, and then it's just basically vibes. You're with brothers, your brothers in Islam. You're at the masjid more often. You're increasing your iman. You're trying to be the best you possibly can be for the sake of Allah, for the sake of yourself, to receive as much rewards as you can in this holy month. AB, just give us a little talk about how your Ramadan's going so far, and one thing that you love about Ramadan that kind of makes you excited. Oh, Ramadan's coming. Yes, I can take advantage of that.
Okay. Alright, that's perfect. So this Ramadan, love it. Beautiful, mashallah. The only thing I don't like, it's going too fast. But alhamdulillah, everything's been going according to plan. I've been going to the masjid more often, alhamdulillah. I've been learning more about the deen itself. And actually, subhanallah, before, like, the last previous Ramadan, it was a whole life-changing, fam. Wallahi. Even before that, I was qa. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just doing whatever stuff, right? But I think a couple weeks before, subhanallah, like, kid you not, I actually had a dream that just woke me up. It felt like as if I was like, I don't even know how to explain this, but it felt like as if I was dying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really
Subhanallah.
woke me up. Subhanallah, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was laying on the bed, right? But I
Yeah.
couldn't move, and my life was like passing through my eyes.
Yeah.
So then
I
I see
think-
it as a what was it?
I think you had that. What's that thing called when you can't
Insomnia.
move?
Oh, yeah.
Nah,
No,
insomnia.
not insomnia.
It's
It's when your body kind of like paralyzes.
Yeah, it has a name
Sleep
for it, man.
paralysis. Sleep
Oh,
paralysis.
sleep
There we
paralysis.
go.
Sleep
Sleep
paralysis.
paralysis.
Yeah.
Does
No,
anybody
but
else
that's when
have
you
that?
see that's when you see like demons and stuff. No, I didn't see
No,
no demons.
no. It's not. You don't see no demons. You just
It's like
your
something
body.
sitting on you.
Your body's like you can't move your body. You're awake, you're conscious, but you can't move.
It's like your
Yeah.
chest is heavy, like it's like you're dead.
It's a very, very scary feeling, man.
The
Did
thing is,
anybody
I
else
don't
have
think
that
I was
before or
dreaming.
not? Like, cause I can't lie, I be having that too a lot, bro.
Yeah, I used to have it a lot, but now, alhamdulillah, not as often as I used to, man.
It's because you come from like you transition from your sleep to your
Yeah.
awake like too quick.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
you,
kinda
I
like-
heard, I heard if you're like sleeping on your back, that's the only way it happens.
Yeah, right. I heard that too. Actually.
Yeah. Actually, you're right because that's the only time it ever happened to
And
me. when I was
also,
on my back.
mandem happens when like I heard like when you don't get enough sleep, and like, you're so tired, but your brain cannot sleep. That's when it happens too most of the time.
Wait, repeat.
Like usually that happens when you're like super tired. Let's say you didn't sleep a lot in the past few days, and you try to go to sleep and you're tired. That just happens to you because you're tired. You want to sleep, but you can't. So that's what happens the most. I switched it up.
Okay, Benji with the scientific facts. Come on.
All right,
Come
but
on.
AB,
Come
He
on.
did his
AB,
research. He
I
did his
read it.
research.
Come on.
I read it.
But
AB,
man, yo,
can you continue that one part, the last question that I had? Sorry about that to interrupt. Then we'll get you feedback. What's something that's nostalgic to you in Ramadan that you kind of look forward to seeing every time Ramadan, the holy month, comes about?
So literally every Ramadan, even this Ramadan before it, I was just looking forward to just changing my life, like literally making a whole 360. Basically like going to even the masjid more, right? Now, even before Ramadan, I'm guilty. Like I wouldn't really be in the masjid other than the Friday prayer. But I'm trying to build that connection where I would go to Tarawih almost every night. Even if I have work, I'll try to make it happen so that after Ramadan, I could probably even be there for Fajr, you know?
MashaAllah.
And then there's also like a thing to learn that which we all know is if you go at Fajr, you pray. Then you wait and until sunrise if you do dhikr or if you read Quran in the remembrance of Allah, and then you pray 2 rak'ats again at sunrise, you will get the rewards as if you performed Umrah and Hajj.
When you
SubhanAllah.
stay to sunrise.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
so basically Fajr until sunrise, and then you pray
Yeah.
at sunrise. But in between that gap, you have to remember Allah. It has to be the remembrance from Allah. You can't be like on your phone messaging people, and you know.
Yeah. Tasbih, Salah, Quran, anything you're doing to remember it's Allah, to keep
Allahu Akbar.
that
Allahu
that
Akbar.
Allah
Yeah.
Akbar, yeah, in
Yeah.
state of ibadah. So long as you're in a state of ibadah, then you'll be rewarded for that, inshallah. Man,
And you know-
I have one more question.
Sharks.
Sorry, go
Can I
ahead.
just add something real quick? Because I feel like you touched on something really important. I don't want to gloss over it because
100%.
it's really hard waking up for Fajr for a lot of people, and especially for myself too. I'm not gonna cap, but I'm very fortunate that I have a father who's like super religious and a stand-up guy.
MashaAllah.
So like that's
Alhamdulillah,
not
mashallah.
that's why I always wake up because of him. I feel like maybe if I didn't have that, I feel like I wouldn't be as fortunate. But like it's important AB said that because during Fajr time, like because a lot of people they talk about evil eye, you know what I mean? Especially in the social media era when you post about yourself, when you post stuff, people always talk about evil eye. They always talk about evil eye, say, like as they're really scared, and as they should be, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, like, okay, when we talk about problems, what is the solution? And Allah always gives us solutions, right? And He's the best guidance at the ending of the day, right? So
Yeah.
when you're up at Fajr times, those times that's the perfect time when you should read Ayah Kursi, you should read Bismillah alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ardi. You should read these things, these supplications, and once you read these things, you're gonna be guarded. You're gonna be safeguarded from evil eye, from anything, from anybody trying to harm you. Like you won't be touched, until after you, and then you repeat Maghrib, you say it again, the same supplication. So it's very important, it's a key moment in the day, and to begin your day off strong or like that, it's a very, very important like tactic to get us through the day without any fitna and problems and worrying about all the evil out there. That's
Yeah,
just my little 2 cents I just wanted to throw in there.
Also, to even prevent yourself from that, like the biggest advice I could give people is just, and even I'm trying to battle it myself, is to not show your life. You know what I mean? Like when you're going through some good shit, I don't know if that makes sense, but when you're going through some good stuff, like let's say you got a raise or you got new gear, you got new shoes, people automatically in this generation, they just want to show it to the Instagram or their Snap. But you doing that is unintentionally causing people to have evil eye on you and jealousy. Because let's say if I were to take a picture of my Yeezys, right? And say it's like the kicks of the day, people are going to be like, damn, man, I wish I was like him, bro. Instead of saying, you know what, mashallah, tabarakallah, ya Allah, I see that you have blessed him. Bless me too, you know what I mean?
100%.
Fact.
So I'll just try to say, like, hide your life and make it private, but at the same time, spread knowledge. So, like, if you're going to, like, let's say Hajj, you don't just right away record yourself and say, oh, look at me, I'm performing Hajj. Yeah, this, that. Instead, you should just, just keep it calm. Don't even post anything if you have to. Enjoy the moment, live it, be sincere, and then leave.
Live in the moment.
Yeah, basically.
Shout out to the people who say mashallah.
It's easier said than done, wallah. Like usually is a lot like I said, like the episode previously is like controlling your tongue on your blessings or even talking bad behind people and stuff. Like your tongue is so powerful. Like,
Yeah.
It's the strongest muscle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
It's something we gotta adapt to. Benji, I want to ask you a question, inshallah. And
Inshallah.
this is a question to all of us. I want you to go first.
Yeah.
This is something that we forgot last episode because I kind of glossed over our head. We were in the moment. We were recording an episode. We're in a whole. This is a different environment for us. For us to be talking on air about Deen. Normally, anytime when we're talking on podcasts, it's either book and balai or funny content. But we said, yo, let's take advantage of this month of Ramadan and give not just advice to the people, but to ourselves, because everyone, we're all in need of reminders. Benji, I want to ask you specifically. This is the first Ramadan where we're actually outside and praying Taraweeh in full capacities, alhamdulillah, because the Rona kind of slowed down. What's something that you can compare and contrast from quarantine times Ramadan to now? Like, how was the change, whether praying at home or praying socially distanced? Can you give us some type of insight from where your head was at?
Okay. So when quarantine happened, right, and then COVID 2020, at the moment where the lockdown happened, like obviously most of us, if not all, was like we're kind of like bummed out because we wanted to go to Taraweeh, right, at the mosque.
Yeah.
So then everybody's kind of like speaking for myself. Actually, like I was kind of like, damn, yo, it's gonna be kind of like a different Ramadan where you're gonna have to stay home. You're not gonna be used to it. But wallah makala, looking back, that's actually kind of a blessing in disguise because A, you got closer to your family. B, you got to perform tarawih with your family and just your family. And then C, it was just one of those vibes where it's like, you could kind of like, lock in and kind of, worship Allah even better because you're not in the mosque. Obviously, the mosque is the best place to worship Allah because with other people and whatnot. But the fact that you're at home, with your family, do tarawih together, I just feel like everybody got close off that, and also I just feel like it was a blessing in disguise basically. But as far as right now, like just like because this is the first time we came back to the mosque. Because even last year too, we had like 3-4 days where we're at the mosque and then they locked down again. So this is the first full year we're back in the mosque, and then it's like I missed this. I said in the last episode, this is really needed because everybody missed, being in the mosque with your brothers. If you do iftar there, eating with your brothers. But if you're there for just tarawih, just seeing the people, your Muslim brothers, because we live in a Gala land right now. So every day we're seeing galas, whether it's at school, work, whatnot, on the road. So just seeing people that, worship the same God as you and, celebrate the same month as you, and then you guys are praying the same tarawih, is the best feeling. So as far as comparing 2020 when we're at home to now, they're both blessings in different ways. For
100%,
me.
brother, 100%. From my perspective, and then we'll get into Freeman because he has a question. From my perspective of Ramadan during quarantine times and just quarantine in general, broski, I remember when I was going to KB Dubs, legit they had multiple different. They had I think 3 khutbas at a time, and then 8 salahs they had 5 because their capacity was limited. So, and then on top of that, it was social distance. So when you go to Jum'ah, they'd be giving out tickets. Brody, to get into the first one is already locked off because it would get packed up so easily. You have to come to the masjid way earlier. I remember the masjid would be open at times, and then new variant starts tweaking, cases start going high, so they close the masjid. Do you know how Duck Ford was tweaking with us?
Yeah.
So legit, he would be on, off, on, off, on, off. Man would just pray Taraweeh at their house. And I'm not sure about you guys, fam, but me, myself, not to big myself up, of course, but fam, I was praying Taraweeh at the crib with my family or multiple families, fam. I had the crib packed up, fam, and I'm leading Taraweeh. So it was a whole different experience for me, fam. I had to memorize the du'as for Salatul Witr, fam. I had to be on par with reading my Quran and memorizing my Quran again because imagine if I slip up because there's a lot of people depending on me. So it was a whole different environment that I had to adapt to. But alhamdulillah, nowadays going to the masjid full capacity with your brothers that you haven't seen in a while, you're shoulder to shoulder, ankle to ankle, which is such a beautiful spirit, a beautiful moment because at the end of the day, no matter where a person could come from, you are able to touch shoulders with them and legs because you're in a state of worship. You're in there's no status. There's no status in the masjid. There's no hierarchy. We're all the same. We're all praying towards one God, and that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
We're all kneeling down together,
Yeah.
It's like we're all equal as the teeth on the comb.
Sharks.
Live. Sorry.
Yeah, the Sharks, I wanted to ask you, even though, remember how lockdown happened, there's, some negatives, right? Like, in terms of Ramadan, not going to the mosque and stuff. But don't you feel like there's some sort of blessings though, like just praying in the house in a sort of sense, leading your family. That was kind of
It was a nice moment because I ate salah at the crib 1-2 times, but I'd rather pray it at the masjid, fam. 'Cause at the end of the day,
you're right.
us as men especially, we are supposed to be praying all 5 of our salahs in the masjid. Of course, as
Yeah.
Benji said earlier, we don't live in a society where it's Islam, fam. And me coming from a society where I was praying all 5 of my salahs in the masjid to praying a few of them, or not even praying one at a masjid nowadays because I prayed at the crib. It's a whole different society to adapt to. Man, I know we struggled with this. We struggle with it a lot. There's times where we're out on roads just doing our own thing, fam. Salah time comes, we're in the middle of somewhere just doing whatever, fam. We have a sully in our whipski, so we just grab a sully out, pray in a little corner. So
Yeah.
imagine me adapting from a society of like, yo, shanti salat misajja kada. I pray all 5 of my salats at a masjid to coming over here missing all 5.
And now I'm mobile. Yeah, I feel you. And plus, like one of the good things of Ramadan that I love is like seeing brothers that I didn't see in a long time, at the mosque, and it's like the
Yeah.
best place. It's like it was always good vibes, than seeing them, walking at like random stores and whatnot. Like it's a blessing. Well, like seeing your bros there is a different touch. Wallah.
I think
And it's
I
always
just
like
wanna. Oh shit, are you still going?
nah,
My
yeah,
bad,
check
my bad, my bad. But my bad, my bad, Freeman, and my bad, Yahya. But
No, it's all
basically, I just
good, yo.
wanted to touch up on one little thing too before like the topic switches. But the benefits of the coronavirus and the benefits of this whole pandemic is that look at it as a more of a learning curve. You know what I mean? That we have to become more grateful. Because before this whole corona, let's just be honest. The most of the Muslim ummah were not really going to the masjid. They were not really paying heed to even the Quran. Subhanallah. And I could even be guilty because, as I said, I really had like a dark past. I don't really share it, and I want to like publicize it because I also told Yahya earlier that even publicizing your sin can become a major sin in itself. So it's
Yes.
just best to keep it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, yo,
But
let's talk about that
as
for a
the
second, because I feel like that's important. Because, yo, obviously, mandem praying in the mosque is amazing. More edging in the mosque, 100%. Praying beside the Muslim ummah, unity. All these amazing, beautiful words. But let's talk about the actions, because more times, Allah is going to judge us on our actions, not these beautiful words, Let's not lie to ourselves. For the past couple of years, fam, we've been going to the mosque. It's been so normal. Ramadan comes every year. We go to the mosque. Yeah, for a good amount of youth, it just became kind of like became kind of like a cultural moment. I see my niggas there. Timmy's ice cap. Bappa. Like it wasn't taken too seriously. It was kind of taken lightly. I'm not saying all of us, and I'm not saying we were on that all the time, but I'm saying I felt like just generally it was kind of taken lightly the blessings we already had before COVID. So when COVID hit and we had to pray in our crib, and then up to Sharsh is talking about he has to start memorizing, make sure his shit's on stock for the make sure his Quran's on point, make sure his dua is on point, that's kind of like now you have to be 100% conscious. Now it's like we have to make a conscious effort because there's not going to be a sheikh we could just piggyback off of. We could just join in whenever we feel like. We could just bop out to Timmy's whenever we feel like. Nah, we're there in our crib, all our family's there. We all have to be 100% conscious, and I feel like that it kind of revitalized us to come back to be even more grateful to what we lost for those 2 years. That's all. That's kind of like the benefit of, like the lockdown, it kind of like, and at the same time too, I just want to say one last thing about that. It's like, if Allah says that, like whatever pain you go through, the pain we go through, He uses pain to kind of erase our sins or to give us good deeds. So within like COVID, I know it's a lot of pain on people's families, whether they've been affected, directly or indirectly. So I feel like that in and of itself has made us more conscious to become more like intentional with our actions. So like now that we're in the masajid, we're on point with it. We care about making sure every single prayer.
And to what Freeman said, sorry to interrupt. To piggyback, you're right. Every pain or like stuff you go through, Allah like deletes some of your sins. Even I have a quote right here where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Never does a believer goes through a discomfort, illness, or anxiety or mental worry without Allah taking some of his sins away if he's patient towards that process.
Mhm.
And I would just like to touch up on something else too. That in the Quran, there's actually an ayah that says, فَإِنَّمَا أُسْرِي أُسْرًا. Basically, it's like with every difficulty comes ease. So that every hardship that we go through and that every difficulty that we see, that's like, I can never do this. And we already know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never burden a soul with more than it can bear, correct?
100%.
So
Yeah.
basically every difficulty that we encounter or that we experience, we just have to know A, we can go past this difficulty, and B, we know that we have our benefits, because man can only count like the difficulties, but they can never count what they have.
The blessings, exactly.
So, you know what I mean? They can't count, oh, I have eyes, I have this, I have that. They can't count it. It's limitless, but they can only count what? The difficulties. So you're complaining, let's say man complaining about difficulties when you have so much, ease. So every difficulty in that sense has its ease in itself. And yeah, so I just wanted to touch up on that little thing.
110%, brother, and thank you for that. Now since the introduction's over and then we kind of glossed over Ramadan and gave a teaser to the audience, I wanted to talk about kind of a funny topic before we get back into the meat and potatoes of the episode. One thing that is kind of funny, but at the end of the day, is kind of mod at the same time. Ramadan, we know, fam, jinnis get locked up all the time. The big jinnis, but the small ones are still roaming about, however. But we know certain situations because we were raised in the masjid. I'm pretty sure all of us were raised in the masjid. We've seen certain things. And Tony had a funny story where me and him were just talking about reminiscing, where he wanted to bring up on the episode specifically. So, Tony, if you could take it away, I want to hear jinni stories.
It's a funny but like crazy story. All right, let me start off. It was a rainy day. It was a Saturday morning.
Was it during Ramadan?
No,
it was a rainy day.
Pre-Ramadan, I'll say like
30 days.
Like spring times, but not like right now. Like Ramadan's a spring, but like before when Ramadan summer times. But years ago, let me get straight to the point. Basically, I was at Duxie morning times. Niggas are there, Fajr. You know those ones, and all the guys. You guys know the infamous snack time.
Yes,
Snack time at Duxie. So pretty much something out of the ordinary happened this day. So pretty much whatever. I'll just take it my baby nap, like I'm up at Fajr, like I'm taking my cat nap, like snack time, 30-minute quick nap, and then I just munched on my thing. And then a man walks in. He looked like a regular dad. That's the crazy part. He looked like a regular dad. But he's going like me and a couple of guys. I think Sharks, you weren't there, right?
I don't remember, fam. That's the thing. I think I might. I remember being there, but I remember the exact moment. Broski, I told you legit. I was in Dubai, fam, and I went through a time skip, fam. I forgot everything.
Oh, you went through oh man, amnesia. But pretty much like I don't know, Sharks. It wasn't Sharks, but a couple of guys, right? We're just talking to this guy. We're at the door place, right? He just came in. Guy came in randomly, he probably thought somebody dukes or something. But then he started talking. All right, this is what he started saying. He had a ring on. You know those rings that everybody has, that common one? Not like that wedding ring.
Islamic rings, yeah.
Yeah,
with the gemstones.
This guy said, he looked at me straight in the eyes, like talked to all of us. He looked at me straight in the eyes. He says, I'm Prophet Muhammad. Astaghfirullah. Like, astaghfirullah, what I say right now is what I not, like, it's not me saying, is what this guy's saying.
Quoting, yeah.
But he said, I'm Prophet Muhammad. I came from Jannah. We're all going to Jannah. And then he's saying, I'm here so we could be free. Like Freeman always says.
Like Freeman.
I guess Freeman got influenced that day.
That's where you got influenced? That's where you got the name from.
Freeman, that's true, huh?
Chill, that's the one day I missed Duxie.
That's the backstory. That's a backstory.
That's the origin story. That's Itachi. But so yeah, man. So this guy just keeps walking, right? He keeps saying all that. We're like, all right, this guy's nuts. And he started going crazy. Like these Adar seen us, the Adars are all in the, like they all just see, like they see something going, something out of the ordinary. See some. First of all, this guy was like 6'5", he was a tall ass guy. We're all young at the time, middle school time. So like this guy's towering. They're like, yo, who's this tall folk? It's not the tall guy we know that goes to the Dukes here.
Red flag, man.
That's
Nah,
red flag right there.
I'm talking about big dog Momo. But like, and then like all of them are coming. I'm not gonna air out somebody's dukes, but like 1-2 man's dukes right there, you know. And then they try to stop this guy, right? This guy's saying nah, and he starts running around in circles. And the infamous, I know you heard of this guy. You guys know, but the listeners don't know. And AB or like, but you guys know Mr. Clean, right?
Yes, sir.
We call him Mr. Clean because he has a very shiny head.
Oh,
That's-
I know him now.
Huh?
I was so slow. I didn't catch on, but I know him.
Alright, yeah. So a guy named Mr. Clean, right? He tries to give me a kitab. SubhanAllah. He slaps the kitab straight out of his hands. And yo, let me just fast paste it. Oh my god. So they're trying to stop him, right? But that is like, yo, this guy's all running. This guy's like, yo, he's an Olympic athlete. Like, he's just running around in circles, like, faster than kids. The kids are just nuts. Everybody's just laughing, rolling around. It's straight chaos there. He's making a big commotion. And yo, you guys remember the ceiling, right? This was a mosque ceiling. It's not a short ceiling. It's like the ceiling's at least higher
It
than
was
a temple.
it was a chandelier, right?
Yeah, it's like a chandelier in there. Bro, he did a better dunk than like what he's about to do is better than what Michael Jordan, Zach LaVine, any of them did. Like it was like all of them combined and the craziest shit I've seen. I went to the Raptors games. I never seen nobody do this in my life. No athlete. Bro, there's a chandelier right there on the ceiling. That is under there. This guy goes and does a windmill dunk on the chandelier on the Adad, and the Adad tumbled over. Like he posterized the Adad on a chandelier. It was nuts. He posterized him. It was crazy. You know how John Morant lands crazy and stuff. This guy landed. He didn't land on his 2 feet. You know how like Westbrook lands on his 2 feet and shit. This guy landed on a somersault. He landed on.
So that's a
Man, Olympic?
combo.
Wallahi,
What is he, Kurt Angle?
This guy did Olympic and basketball at the same time.
bro. Like I never seen like yo like that's why I think that's the reason why I'm never impressed by the dunk contest. Like this year was shit, but I was never impressed. Like this guy did a windmill somersault, and he's just going crazy. He's going crazy. This is what happened next, man. That is all for house of them are like yo, let's go to Tim's, and this guy cut.
Instead of protecting the youth, they said let's go to Tim's.
Yeah, they said to the gym. No, they said to the guy, yo, let's go to Tim's.
Let's talk this over qahwa.
Yeah, let's go get some shah. Wallah, they left him there. Like, I was paranoid there. I had PTSD for like a year there. Like, yo, I was just saying, yo, let's get my papa at the corners or something, bro.
That's
man,
one.
crazy, bro.
That's one no context gin story. That's one no context gin story. Mine is a bit more different because it was actually scary, but then when looking back at it, was hilarious. Man, I'm pretty sure you guys know my older bro, No Names, of course. Shout out to him, love him to death. But fam,
Big bro.
legit, there was a situation where it was Masjid Roda. Oh man, No Names. Blur that if you can. But try to the game with a certain masjid. And I'm pretty sure, man, if you're from Toronto, you know this masjid. This masjid is known for one thing.
Everybody knows.
Quran Akhris, fam.
Yes.
Quran Akhris. Like the sheikh over there, mashallah, he's huncho in that. Like he knows how to exercise them demons.
After Fajr activities, Allah.
After Fajr activity. So it was one day, legit, fam. I don't know if it was a weekend, whatever. I was off school. My pop's like, yo, let's go there after Fajr. And normally that's where we go. AB, as you said earlier, the benefits of staying after Fajr is Umrah and Hajj. You get both Umrah and Hajj if you stay until sunrise and you pray the 2 rak'ah sunnah right after. It's called Shuruq. But legit, I was staying until then. But the Muhammad said, yo, we got a session, man. Forward. They went to the girls' side. The girls' side is empty. That's where he normally does. He has a speaker. He has all the equipment he needs. And then this brother, subhanAllah, he's been dealing with having a jinni inside of him for quite a while, quite some time. So they come to the masjid every here and there for ruqya. So the Muhammad goes on and on. He's reading the ayahs. I'm downstairs, fam. I can hear what's going on upstairs. That's how modest scary was. I just hear screaming and I hear Quran on blast. So my little 11, 9-year-old self went to go upstairs to go check, have a little peek. All I see is my older brother coming out of the room holding his face, crying. He's like, oh, boy. I'm looking at him, what happened? My dad came out. He's like, yo, this is even more serious than we need to actually, that we took in. I need to take you home. He took me home, and legit, what I heard was, basically, Quran Aqris, it took 2 men for each limb of his body. So two men would be on each part of his arms, and the 2 men would be each part of his legs, just holding it down, and the Ma'ala just reading Quran on him, asking this jinni questions and whatnot. Somehow, my older brother, I think it was 13, 14 them times, he let go. Because he's scared. It's his first time him going through scenarios like this. Scared. Last one. Jinnis, I'm not sure if you guys know, but jinnis are powerful people. Especially when they consume someone. My bro let go, and that was a big, big mistake. What he did was he picked up one guy, flinged him all across the room. He pushed everyone off him. And the first person he laid sights upon was my older bro. What did he do? He socked him in the face. And it wasn't no normal sock. He wasn't bruised that day, but it was some painful sock to the point he flew to the dirby go. And he was feeling everyone was shocked. And they maintained it. Yeah, fam. Well, I could go into so many more G stories, but this is the more appropriate or PG friendly.
That's scary. And
fam.
And to piggyback off that, I have a quick story too. That's very quick and short. And then, so let me say it. So this story actually takes place in the same mosque that Abdi Sharks kind of ratted on, but I'm not gonna say the mosque's name. But so there's one day I was doing duksi at this mosque, the same mosque Abdi Sharks talking about. So then there's one day where I was in class, and then normally our ma'alin would teach us. Obviously, there's one day he didn't come, so we had like a supply teacher, and this teacher, our supply teacher, was like a what do you? I have a question, guys. What do you guys call when someone becomes a Muslim? Is it a convert or revert?
Convert.
A revert.
Revert.
Yeah, everyone's
Oh
born
no
as a
no no
Muslim.
no no! Yeah, you're right.
Everyone's
I
born
just
as a
realized.
Muslim. They just come back to Islam.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy was like a white guy that became a revert, and he had like bare tattoos and shit. So there's one time we're in class, and then he was like a nice guy. He was laid back. He's a young guy. So one day after we finished our Asher, he said, "Yo, let me tell you a scary story to pass time." So he told us, it's a quick story. So he basically told us because he sleeps at the mosque too. So he told us there's one night, like a couple of nights ago, I was at the mosque sleeping by myself, and then I woke up to use the washroom around like 3, 4 a.m. As I was using the washroom, I noticed outside, like I see like a figure. So I said, "What is that?" He said he didn't pay no mind, used the washroom, whatnot, whatever. Came back out, then he seen another figure, so he seen 2. Then he got curious. He said, "Let me go see." He's by himself too in the mosque. So he went outside. He went outside to go see these 2 figures, and then as soon as he went outside, he told us that he heard like a strong yell saying, "Where's this so and so?" They're looking for some sheikh. The same sheikh that deals with the jinns. They're looking for him. So they're asking him, "Where's this guy? Where is he?" And he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" He said, "I'm not gonna ask you again. Where is this guy? Tell us right now. Tell us."
Are they trying to pack the sheikh?
I don't even know. They had beef with him, I guess. So then, he ran back inside. He ran back inside, locked the doors, make sure he locked the doors, went back to sleep. And they told us it happened the next night again. The same thing. Wallah, I'm not even lying. This guy told us the story. And I don't know, maybe he told us because we're all kids, so maybe he tried to scare us. But like, I'm not gonna lie, when he told us that story, yo, I was scared. I told my pops, "You take me out of this duxie, man. I'm not coming back here ever again." I couldn't deal with that shit, but that scared the shit out of me. I swear to God. Allah subhanallah, man.
And basically, the gist of these jinni stories is just to kind of, make the conversation a bit more light. However, but also at the end of the day, as a reminder to people, there's spirits out there. Evil eye is real, of course. And man, just protect yourselves.
If you're gonna give them a reminder, tell them to protect themselves. Just you gotta let them know how to protect themselves, man. Make sure you guys, like being in a state of wudu, first of all, is a good thing. There is just like hadith, what they have like good chain of narrations that say, yo, if you're in wudu, state of wudu, whenever you're all the time, even when you go to bed, there's angels watching over you and whatnot. And at the same time, read Ayat Kursi, a very powerful ayah. When you go into the bathroom, especially this one, don't forget to say the don't forget to say the yes, exactly. Don't forget to say that, especially in the bathroom.
Even because to touch up on that, if you were not to even say that, and it's scary because the shayateen, the jinns, they're looking at you, and if they fall in love, it's game over. Like it will make your life miserable to the point where, like, you could go down and down and downhill. Nobody will want you because that's just the power.
Well, I heard a scary story. I forgot the gist of it, but the shorty, she in another country, I think like in Africa, she went into the bathroom, didn't say that, and she stepped on a jinn's baby or something. So that it got so pressed that it literally went in her.
Oh, I heard a similar story. My bad for interrupting though, but like
That's all I
heard
know,
it.
fam. I forgot the rest of it, but yeah,
Oh,
go on.
it looked like you're about to go off. I was like, shit. I don't know if I should just cut him or just wait.
Dramatic
But
suspense.
I like but basically, I heard a story. I don't know if you guys heard about it too, but it's a story of a man that was walking it like not walking or jogging in the park, right? He was like on an alleyway, and then he was jogging, and then accidentally he didn't know this, but accidentally he killed the jinn. Like he killed a jinn, right? And he was running, and then out of nowhere he just gets mad. Like he gets possessed now. Like he's mad. Like he's flipping out. He's going crazy. And the sheikh is asking, the jinns questions like, "Oh, what are you doing? What is happening? Why are you acting like this?" He's like, "He killed my son. He killed my son. He killed." He kept repeating it, and it's just scary. You know what I mean? Like you don't see them, but they see you. And if you kill one of them, then it's game over. Unless if you actually take the precautions and just say like Bismillah and recite Ayatul Kursi or recite the Quran anywhere you're going, you will be protected.
Yeah, you know what else I
100%,
heard
man.
too? That was crazy. I heard like if you stare at the mirror for too long, you're in risk if like in the
Your
washroom,
face
you're in
starts
risk
smiling, Allah.
to
What?
I don't know if I'm not.
that's no joke, fam. Like if you stare at the mirror too long, like crazy long, it's like you're in risk of like a jinn falling in love with you because the jinns post up in the
Bathroom,
And say,
yeah.
and say Bloody Mary 3 times while you're at it.
Yeah, you're sick. You're
I never-
sick.
No, but
Nah.
I feel like how they always say that Bloody Mary stuff. Like I'm kind of reading along through other things on the like how to protect yourself from rain, just to like thoroughly see it through. And then one of those things, like I didn't read it fully, but it kind of said if you like isolate yourself and you're lonely, you make yourself lonely, and you start having like depressive thoughts and negative thoughts, that kind of makes you kind of like a target. And it's just like the way like how you're saying all this Bloody Mary stuff, but Shaitan's gonna come to you, whisper things like, "Oh, he's gonna make you question things, keep on questioning things, like to the point where you question your own faith, and then you say things like, astaghfirullah. You say things like, "Oh, who created Allah?" He just makes you think of wrong thoughts,
Yeah, and one thing, and one thing I want to say. Sorry for interrupting, but whenever you guys have those doubts, even myself, because I watched the video, always, like I said this last time too. Like if you have negative thoughts about Islam or you have doubts, if you just keep it right there and you don't act upon it, then you won't get punished. And also, when these thoughts keep like piling up and Shaitan gives you these thoughts, you're supposed to say Amatu Billah, which means I believe in Allah. So whenever you say that, inshallah, Allah will make it easier for you to not think of those things.
You know what I also
and
heard?
always we could say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem too. Don't.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yes, but you know what I also heard too?
Yeah.
Is that the more thoughts you have is a sign that you have iman. So basically saying like, let's say if you love someone to death, right?
Yeah.
And you start having negative thoughts. Like it's natural. Let's say if you love someone to death and you have to start having thoughts like, oh, what are they doing? Like, you know what I mean? Are they okay? And this and that. Oh, are they going there? Where are they going? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you have this certain thoughts of your religion, saying, oh, for example, as he touched up on, who created Allah? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We don't know that, right? He was the first creation, and the first creation itself was the pen. That's to the best of my knowledge, was the pen. Then it became the bin. No, sorry, astaghfirullah. It became
The tablet, I believe.
the malika. No, the malika, the jinn, and then the bin. The bin is basically
Oh,
a species.
they're before the jinn.
Yeah, no. The bin's before the jinn?
Yeah. I heard. I seen a video.
But AB, you made a good
Allahu
point.
A'lam,
I don't want you to
Allahu A'lam.
lose. I don't want you to lose your point while you're naming the things. You said having thoughts is not a bad thing because there's an imam that said it is only those who are most perfect in faith who are tested with waswasa. So he made an analogy. He said, "Yo,"
What's up for
he
me?
said,
Like
What's his doubt?
like doubt. He said, "Yo," he made a good analogy. He said, "Yo, when a thief is like stealing from a house, does he target like a ruined house? No, he targets the best house. So it's kind of like a test. Once when you're in a moment like that, you make dhikr. And that's the way to get back, you know? That's the way to pass that test.
The thing is, people see jinn and shayateen as they're like the most, powerful beings. And yes, they are like they have power, but it's to a point where you can let it control. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because in
So
reality, they fear us.
you can easily
Yeah.
nullify it
They,
by reading your adhkars and protecting yourself, fam. The Ayatul Kursi, fam, is very, very powerful. Angels will protect you if you just read the ayah. As soon as you're stepping out of your house, you read your adhkars, you leave with your left foot, and then, fam, you read Ayatul Kursi. Wallahi, you're gonna be straight.
Bro,
And that
I
will
after every
can't.
protect.
salah, after every
Yo,
salah,
you,
reciting that.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I love talking about the deen because then I realize how much I don't know and I want to know, you know? Like, we all know the story about, Umar bin Khattab, like, the Shaitan wouldn't even step on the same side of the sidewalk with him, you know? He was the real VOTS, come on. Really stepping, man. Wallah, Umar was really stepping.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. You guys scared me a bit earlier because, yo, wallahi, legit. I forgot who brought the point. It was Tony when you stare in the mirror for a bit too long, broski. There's
Yeah,
times that
what
I'm
the
giving,
heck?
broski.
Yeah.
There's times when I'm giving myself my cuts, or there's times when I was waving back in the day, fam. I'm in the bathroom waving different intervals, fam. 25 minutes, 4 times a day, brushing my hair, fam. Feeling myself, mashallah. I look in the mirror, I say mashallah to myself in my head, fam.
Yeah, well, like I heard that too, fam. Like, yo, I feel you. Like, you know, those right after a shower, like, when you're
Yeah.
feeling yourself.
No, but always at the end of the day,
Bro,
what
that's
I
why
do is to probably.
I diss up the sharks, bro. I have to humble this guy.
No, but wallahi, no joke, no, all jokes aside, fam, wallahi, to protect myself, since a young age, alhamdulillah, my dad taught me, there was a point in times where he used to put, when I was growing up, he used to put all of cabs that we needed to know just for our daily lives on a fridge. He'd print out papers and he'd put it on the fridge. You see how some families, they put out reminders, calendars, stickers, and whatnot. He'd put CAD reminders or Salah reminders or things that we should know for the week, month, or however long. And one of the CADs he put was going to the bathroom, and I made it a habit from a young age. Anytime I go to the bathroom, I go in with my left foot, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi, and then when I leave, ghufranak. And fam, legit, it's to the point where, let's say I do forget it doesn't sit right with me. I have to leave the bathroom and come back in and read the adhkar, because fam, the shit, even no matter how clean your bathroom is, no matter what it is, how beautiful the lighting is, decor, DIY, that's shaitan's house.
Yo, shout out to the Dukes fam, because I remember not to this day, every time I leave my crib, she always tell me, recite the dhikr, recite adhkar, and she'll be like, especially this one, "A'udhu bikalimatillahi tammati min sharri ma khalaq." That is an amazing one for protection from evil eye, devils, and anything evil, man. And if, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Prophet Ibrahim, they used to say this, say these words as protection, So these are powerful words because you're invoking Allah, which this is the thing. AB said it perfectly. Like, people always be talking about devils and demons, even non-Muslims. Nowadays, if you look in the media and entertainment, everyone talks about demon time this, demon this. Demon is the main thing everyone tries to attribute to, like, strength and power and, rebellious, But if you really take it in, that is like the lowest of the low, because when you look at things like, what do you have? You have Allah. And then what does Allah have? Allah has angels. These are more powerful. Yes, everyone has one shaitan around them since the day they're born, but at the same time, Allah puts 4 angels always beside you. So look at the math already. You know what I mean? Plus, if you make your dhikr, plus if you're talking about deen, plus if you're doing good things, more angels are around you, surrounding you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you have Allah with you as well if you're invoking Him. So these are the things that never get talked about, and people are always fear mongering, or they're just bigging up the wrong thing, and it's just like that's literally why someone like Umar bin Khattab they're so scared of him, because like he was such a man of conviction, it's a strong faith.
Well, even like honorable mention is Ghalib bin Walid too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Allah.
These guys are amazing, man.
Can I just touch up on one thing too?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's amazing about this religion is that your past can actually be the biggest blessing. It's actually so beautiful that even Khalid bin Walid, what do we know about him? Before
He was
he
he was
reverted,
not Muslim.
right? Before
He
he
used to
reverted,
kill the Muslims.
he used to kill. He used to do, he used to do what the people would think this is like the worst sin: killing, murdering, dishonoring Muslims. But then what happens? He went back to Islam. He went back to his ways. The sword. He just made amends, and all of his sins were forgiven, truly forgiven, right? Because of
Yeah,
what? A sincere repentance. So
mashallah.
it just shows that how we have to make that effort no matter how dark our past is. Like people even say like, oh, yeah, I think my life is over with. I'm not a good person. I'm like, but like, who even said that? You know what I mean? Like,
Legit,
we
we were
cannot really
seeing that,
determine that.
Broski.
I
We were
know,
seeing that
yeah.
last episode. How
Or
legit,
yo,
no matter what, there's always hope. Don't ever think that there's. Shout out, brother Muhammad Hamdas. We were referencing. There is never. There was never. No, no, not Sallallahu Sheikh
Oh,
Muhammad Hamdas.
I thought you said Muhammad. My bad.
No,
I
no,
thought you
no.
said Muhammad.
It's,
Prophet.
no, no.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim
It's
means
miscommunication.
Allah the most merciful. That's the first thing, like people always have to remember that. And like I wanted to mention this too, like how you mentioned Umar bin Khattab, like the first surah Umar bin Khattab heard was Surah Al-Daha by his cousin, which in translation means, hold up, let me pull it up for you guys so I can get it right. The surah
I don't think Taha has a meaning.
oh, it does. It's
It
like
does.
yeah.
It's like Alif Lam Mim.
Well, the first surahs is we have now revealed the Quran to you, O Prophet, to cause you distress, but as a reminder of this and awe of Allah. Those are the first two ayahs, Umar
Yeah.
bin Khattab. If I'm not mistaken, subhanAllah, I don't
Yeah.
want to make any mistakes, but it's the first surah he ever touch upon, or the first verses. So
Like,
Yeah, you were.
he even like had the intention to kill Allah subhanahu. No, astaghfirullah, what am
No,
I saying?
Prophet Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad. He had the
Muhammad.
intention to kill Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? But then see how Allah works? Like this is the qadr of Allah, this is the plan of Allah. Like you can never outplan Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the best of planners. So we learn about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life, how he got saved from the spider webs. He got saved from people. He got saved from threats. He got saved from people that were gonna kill him in the night, and how he got replaced with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ali radiallahu an, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in this case, Umar bin Khattab radiallahu an, he was intending, and he was intending to kill the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what happened in the middle of the road? A man told him, instead of starting with the Prophet Muhammad, start with your own family members first. And what has that led? He led, well, hurting the family members, which is bad, but that's not the main point. What has led was he actually gave the Quran a chance, and he read a certain ayah, and that ayah made him ponder and made him really concerned, and he went back to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not to kill him, but to seek wisdom. And that's when the dua of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam got accepted, by saying we need a strong warrior.
One of the
Yeah.
Umars. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know if you guys ever touched upon this series, but I go to it every few Ramadans. It's nostalgic time. It's an NBC series, and it's a series about Umar. It's called Umar. It's a story about Umar bin Khattab radiallahu an. It shows faces, except all faces except for because actors, except for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, it's the most detailed series of the stories of Prophet Muhammad during that time. And I have it vividly saved in my memories, and then the way it hits me emotionally, it's beautiful. Allah, man. Man, I tell you what anime you're gonna watch this time, what movie, what show you're gonna watch. Give that a try. It's in Arabic, of course, but there's English dub and there's English sub, of course. But wallahi, give that a chance. I think it's about 30 to 40 episodes, and it's about an hour each. It's so interesting, and it gives you insight on Islam that some things you didn't even know, like the daily lives of the Sahabas and the Prophet.
What's the show thing? What's it called?
It's called
the Umar series, literally.
Yeah, Umar bin Khattab series.
I know there's like a YouTube show that's like I think 2 hours long, and I don't know how I'm so late to even like notice about it. But so okay, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm watching like a Turkish shows right now, right? So I'm watching shows about Osman. I'm watching shows about Ertugrul, where it's like the past times when there's like tribes in the tents, and it's based on true stories. You know what I mean? True Islamic stories. How they used to fight for justice and used to prevail, and how they fight the infidels, meaning like the Christians and whatnot, the atheists, right?
Yeah.
So basically, as I'm in that phase, someone told me about an interesting show on YouTube, which if you guys don't know, I'll put you on. It's a little putting you on segment, you know what I mean? but
Mm.
but I feel like you guys know this. It's basically called The Messenger
The Messenger is
on YouTube.
beautiful too,
Yeah,
fam. But the
that
messengers
one.
of the messenger, it's the message actually. The message
Oh, the
is
Messenger, my bad.
yeah, it's a movie. It's a 2 hour long movie. This Umar bin Khattab is modern and it's beautiful, 1080p crisp. And on top of that, fam, it's a series where you'll get invested and you'll get hooked. Wallahi, man, give it a chance.
I might have to search this up right now. What is it called on YouTube?
Umar bin Khattab series. It's on
Okay.
NBC. It's on NBC's channel. Freeman, I never knew you were cultured. MashaAllah.
This guess, yo, just stop this, bro.
I thought you just watch anime, fam.
Let me tell you a fun fact. I'm not trying to air out my fam's biz, but like pretty much my dad and his bros, all of his bros are literally named after the Sahabas and the Prophet, like in order. And
MashaAllah,
my
fam.
brother named Muhammad,
Wallah.
and then Uthman, and then no Abu Bakr, then Uthman, then Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman, then Ali, and then yeah, like
No, not the Prophet.
Yo.
You mean the Prophet and the Sahabas.
yeah, that's what I said. The Prophet and the Sahabas. That's what I said.
Oh, you said Prophets. My bad. But yeah, Freeman. If you can hit
Ah,
him
the
up with the
Prophet, yeah,
second
that's
part.
50, bro. That's crazy.
But yeah, literally the last thing I wanted to say about the you know, the protection from, evil. Just one more thing I wanted to add into it. Like a good example is the Battle of Badr, like literally Shaitan he's on the enemy lines. He's moving like he's with them. They don't even know he's Shaitan. He's there, he's amping them up. Obviously the Muslims, they have less numbers. These guys are arrogant, they're turning up, they're just they think they're gonna catch a dub. And Shaitan is so amped up, Little does he know that Allah's on their side, fam. If Allah's on your side, it's game over. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what the numbers are. Allah is greater than all, It's Allahu Akbar. That's it. Period.
It's like
Mhm.
people are afraid
Yeah,
to
boo.
stand alone.
and then what happened after? It literally, that's when the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from Allah,
As-Salam.
he instructed them to get into lines, proper formations, like line up like it's Salah, straight up the lines. They got into proper war formations. They had low numbers, but what did Allah do? He sent angels to fight alongside with them. They couldn't see it, but they were there fighting alongside with them. And once the Shaitan saw that, he started running away. I don't remember. If you guys remember, you could tell me, or maybe if the viewers remember. But which one of the disbelievers stopped the Shaitan that was moving like one of their guys? And you guys know what I'm talking about?
Wait, sorry, say it again?
What did you say?
Because Shaitan is he's battling with the disbelievers at the Battle of Badr.
Yeah.
Shaitan's battling the disbeliever?
No, he's with them at the Battle of Badr.
Okay, okay. Okay, I was confused. I was like, what?
It's the Battle of Badr, the Muslims and the non-believers,
Okay.
And obviously the Muslims at that point had much lower numbers.
Yeah.
And the disbelievers, I forgot which one of the disbelievers it is. Everyone knows it, we all learned this. But he sees quote unquote Shaitan running away, but he doesn't know it's the devil, obviously. So he's asking.
Was it Shaitan that ran? Are you talking about the archers?
Not the archer. I'm talking about like the actual. Okay, Shaitan was moving like he was posing as what's his name? He was posing as somebody on their side, like Suraq. Okay, Suraq ibn Malik ibn that's who he was posing as. I forgot which one of the guys on the disbelievers on his side said he stopped him and he said, "Where are you going? Why are you running away?" And basically Shaitan said, "Look, I see what you do not see." And he dipped. Because what did he see, man? He saw the angels, And from that second, he knew that they're not winning. There is no chance of victory. Because why? Allah is with them. So, obviously, I'm not giving all the details properly. I'm just giving you the short, straight answer. But what I'm trying to portray is that, listen, we're in a world where, there's demons amongst us, whether it be in the form of humans and whether it be in the form of something else. Protect yourself by, holding on to the rope of Ilahi, Clutch on that rope because that's it. Nothing else can protect you, Your dudes
100%.
can't even protect you. Your mom, your dad cannot protect you if you're not tying yourself to Allah.
What
That's all I
people
gotta
need
say.
to what people need to realize is that, you know what I mean? You touched it up on good, mashallah. The way you said it was very good, mashallah. But people need to really, really know, like, even though it's very obvious, but people need to really realize that shaitan is your enemy and you should avoid him at every single cost. What I mean by this is when he's ever giving you waswasa, and he's telling you, you know what, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. At first, it's very tempting, and he's very patient. He will keep going at it. Like, he won't just say one time and he will just stop there. He will keep going and keep going and keep going and give you like these thoughts. But
Yeah.
treat him as if he's your enemy and just lock yourself from him. Like, just cut off all the communications. You know what I mean?
And you guys have to understand, Shaitan's very, very weak. You know, all he could do is just
Yeah.
manipulate and try to trick you. You know, he has no power over you. Allah said he has no power over you.
Mm.
You just have to be strong minded. You know, and obviously strength comes from Allah too. So you gotta be. Allah knows everybody's intentions, right? So if you're trying to get away from the Shaitan and you try not to do what Shaitan provokes you to do, then Allah will help you. But you know, it's up to you at the end of the day. Shaitan cannot have no power over you.
Like-
Because on the day of judgment, if you die upon doing Shaitan told you to do, then wallahi wa ta'ala, Shaitan will come to you and tell you, I had no power or control over you. You decided to go to this path. I cannot help you today, nor you can help me today. And they both go to hellfire together.
I don't know. It's
I
like
don't know.
it's like people love pointing the finger, but it's hard to point it at themselves. And that's like a very, very good skill that if you can point yourself, like in your own faults, then you're at that certain level where you can see where you're making the mistake instead of looking at everyone else's mistakes. You know what I mean?
100%. And Mufti Menk said it best. He's like, yo, know your enemy. And we all know Shaitan's an enemy, but we kind of forget that. And I feel like a lot of this music industry, the entertainment industry, this whole media industry, they've indoctrinated us into making the word demon sound so soft and so just casual. But Mufti Menk, I remember listening to him, he said, yo, know your enemy. We all should know our enemy is Shaitan. So when you have an issue with your Muslim brother, if me and, you know, Upti have a problem and we start getting angry at each other and we go off, Shaitan loves it when we get angry because in those moments of anger, he can catch us lacking. So what should we and him do? We should look at each other, calm down, say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, say, yo, I forgive you. Yo, fam. You know, Mufti Menk actually laughed. He said, yo, why don't we blame Shaitan? So if me and you are beefing, let's say, yo, my bad, fam. But, yo, Shaitan, it was his fault, fam. If we're going to blame anybody, don't blame each other and don't blame yourself. But blame Shaitan is the easiest person to blame, and it's not bad to blame him because he's literally your enemy. You
All
know?
the anxiety is all from Shaitan, bro. And like another thing you could do too, say Abdullah Shaitan Dream or make wudu, pray 2 rak'ahs. That's one thing I wanted to touch upon. Like anytime, like if Shaitan is too whispering in your ear, like you know, like if Shaitans keep talking, you know, not talking to you, but like you know how Shaitan tries to persuade you to do bad.
Yeah.
My suggestion is whatever that specific bad is, say something you try to fight, that you try to stop, or you're not trying to do, or like whatever it is, like by your eyes, your nose, or your ears, whatever it is. Pray 2 rak'ahs every time when the temptation is high. Pray 2 rak'ahs, pray 2 rak'ahs, pray 2 rak'ahs, and that's gonna help. Like Shaitan is not gonna like put that in your head, you know, like you know what I mean. He's not gonna try to put that in your head. He's gonna say, like, if you think of that or you like your temptation is high on that thing, then like, and you pray 2 rak'ahs, then like that's beating him, you know, like that's a way to beat Shaitan in a sort of sense, you know, and like in terms of
100%. That's a beautiful reminder,
Mhm.
not just to yourself, but to all of us, not to ourselves, but to everyone.
Mhm.
Freeman, I wanted to ask you because we're about to round up this beautiful episode. We can talk for days, but there's the main gist of the episode that I wanted to get into specifically that you can bring.
100%. No. I just wanted to flesh out a couple of things because this next part, this is the most beautiful part of the episode. I promise. You know. So we just wanted to get the nitty gritty and get all the other stuff out of the way. You know, and rightfully so. That you know, we just wanted to set it up in a way that there's no other way to like make this sound better. But I'm just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna start off with an ayah from the Quran. You know, from the Word of Allah. And then I'm going to go into the English translation and go right to the topic. So I'm coming from Surah Taqabun, ayat 11. And I'm just going to play it for you, and I'm going to tell you the English translation.
ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بالله ومن يؤمن بالله يهد قلبه والله بكل شيء عليم ما
All right. So what we have here,
To be honest, like, send me that verse later.
I'll send it to you. It's literally, you can go on Quran 64:11, chapter 64, verse 11. So what the English translation is basically saying is, no disaster strikes except by permission of Allah, and whoever believes in Allah, He will guide his heart, and Allah is all-knowing of all things. So why I'm saying this is because today I want to bring up the name of Allah, one of the 99 names of Allah, As-Samad, the Eternal, and which is in English, it means the eternal, the independent, the master who's relied upon in matters and reverted to in one's need. He's the only one a person should turn to when feeling helpless. So I'm using English, has all these synonyms and words to kind of describe it. You know, that's the thing about Arabic. It's like Arabic is a beautiful language to kind of capture what it is, because, you know, it has root words, and, you know,
English words can't grasp some of
so that's why there's a lot of
deep.
synonyms to kind of grasp the many meanings within that one word, you know. It's Allah, and this name, it gives off the name of Allah as the supreme provider. So there's different meanings within this one name as well. So I will get into the different aspects one by one. So yeah, I was reading off this book, and maybe I'll put it in the link, but they kind of gave a little like, they kind of gave a little description of like when you revert back to this name, and it's kind of like almost like a little poem, and I kind of switched it up in my own words. I just flipped it a little bit. So it kind of goes like, if you are weak and you're shackled by your worldly schemes, you're lost in the illusion, you're not knowing how to deal, and then you're engulfed in your worries, the stress feels like it kills, then you need to hold steadfast to Him. This is what the feeling comes out when you hear this name. Because this name, As-Samad, it provides you with like a sobering mindset. It gives you strength, and because this name is powerful, and it's a sublime name of Allah, and it really should make you have like pride in your reality, because you realize it's a bigger picture perspective. Because why? Let's talk about one part of the meaning of the name, the eternal. Allah is the one, you know, He's the beginning, and He's the first, and He's the last, you know. He's eternal. He never ends. Like, there's nothing. He's not temporary. Everything in this world is temporary. Correct, Mandam?
Yeah.
So it's all like deceit and all fake and all all that, right? But Allah is eternal. So there's nothing else that can compare to Him. So that's a number. That's right off the bat. That should sober your mind up right there, because sometimes when we get into this dunya, we get like lost up. We get stressed, and we get stressed about things that are temporary. But then if you think about Allah, As-Samad, He is the one that's eternal. Like, we rely upon Him, you know. There's nothing in this world. Like, for example, I'll give you a great example that He's the greatest provider. When a baby is born into this world, it automatically, like, it instinctively knows to, like, you know, like suck his mother's breast for sustenance. How did he know that? He's a baby, no knowledge. Who put that knowledge and instilled in him? Who gave him, you know, who gave the bird an idea of where to get the worm? You know what I mean? Who gave the sun the idea of how to orbit? You know what I mean? All these things is because of Allah, and nothing can work without Him, you know? Everything is dependent on Him, you know, and He's depending on nothing. And so right off the bat, you know, that should make you think about, that's a name that you should always keep in your mind. Because when you keep that name in your mind, every day is a new opportunity for you to kind of like mold yourself for a better day, you know, because you know that Allah's providing you with the resources, you know. So imagine if like, you know, like you have a job, you know, they give you the tools to work with so you can do a good job. You know what I mean? If you go to work tomorrow and none of the tools are there, like, whatever job you are at, if there's nothing there, your tools that you usually work with, you won't do a good job, right? But obviously they give you the tools, of course. That's exactly what Allah does. Every single day, He gives us the tools. He gives us oxygen. He gives us food. He gives us our eyesight, all of the five senses. So much blessings we can't even count, But all these are resources for us to work. So once we have this, it should be in our head that alhamdulillah, as-Samad, thank Allah, and we should use that knowledge to always try to for bettering ourselves. And yeah, that's kind of like the first part of the meaning of that name. And before I get into the other angles of that name, I just want to bring it to you guys now. Give me some moments in your life where a reality check hit you. You know what I mean? I know it's Ramadan, and I forgot to ask this earlier to AB. I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Last episode we had Ramadan resolutions, right? So instead of doing New Year's resolutions, Mandem said, "Yo, this is the time of year we want to really better ourselves sincerely and genuinely. So we call it Ramadan resolutions. Give us a couple 1-2 goals that you want to have, you want to do now in Ramadan and continue moving forward. You have anything right now you can share with us, bro?
Okay, so as I have touched on before, I would say mainly just focus on my my sincerity and seeking knowledge. Now, it's best I seek knowledge as much as I can, because with knowledge, you can, protect yourself from harm, and you can protect yourself from sin. And you can also help and encourage other Muslim brothers to avoid the sin with your knowledge. Now, the reason why I want to obtain knowledge is not necessarily just to show off and to tell people, oh, I'm of the people of knowledge, you should respect me, I know what I'm talking about. It's just to the simple fact that I even face it nowadays, that even, let's say, the disbelievers, you know what I mean, they'll question me. And sometimes they'll even go questions where it's so severe, and I have to say something like, oh, you know what? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, basically, I'm not quite sure about the exact words, but he's basically just warning us to avoid something you do not know. Because in his example that we've seen, Gabriel, the great angel, right? He came in disguise of a human, and he came in front of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave him series of questions, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered. And then there was a point where he gave him a question, but then he said, the asker I believe it was the questioner does not know as much as the asker, right? So basically saying that you should be humble, and you should know if you do not know it. You shouldn't just be arrogant and say, yeah, I know it, and just make your own bullshit. Because I believe that's a form of shirk. When you're making your own religion and you're mixing it up, and you're not you're not getting your own correct religion, you know what I mean? You're making it up at this point. So in that aspect, I'm trying to seek knowledge, and also I'm just trying to get closer, to be honest, because I just feel like there's a lot of work to do with me before I get on to other people.
100%.
You know what I mean? A lot of work, and it can never end at one point. It has to keep going and keep going and keep going. There's never a point where I'm perfected. It's always a constant improve and improve and improve.
Brother,
And
wise man once said, sorry to interrupt you, but legit, finding the best you possibly can be, you can sum it up to a quick acronym, legit. And man can laugh all they want, but shout out Benji, fam. GBE, get better every day.
Get better every day, bro.
Get better every day. That's how it is, fam.
Yo, my bad. I realized I kind of made a little mistake, because I was reading through my book and I had a different page open. Obviously it's still Allah I was describing, but I was looking at the other name I was looking at was Al-Hafid, Allah is the one that sustains everything. But for this name, As-Samad, this was the one that I want to touch upon, being steadfast. And I love the fact that AB's answer was kind of a good representation of that, the striving for that, to sincerity, and to have that sincerity, And then once you have that sincerity, you can be steadfast within your own deen, you know? And As-Samad, the best way to kind of think about that name is one of the shortest surahs in the Quran and one of the biggest impact like the surahs have. You know, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. You know? لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. This say he is Allah, you know? He's the one, the only. Allah, the eternal, you know? So it's so simple. These words are literally Allah just giving us straight facts. He's not like he doesn't not giving us you know, just straight up what it is, and he's telling us how it is, and it's so powerful at the same time. And this is like a reminder for all of us at the same time, for myself, and remind them and everyone who's listening. When you keep that in your mind at all given times, it's good, you know, because a lot of people, they might only think about that part of Allah. They might only think of Allah when they need help. Man needs help, he says, oh Allah. Man needs support, he says, oh Allah. Man needs protection, he says, oh Allah. Man needs guidance, he says, oh Allah. A man needs kindness, he says, oh Allah. When people are, if a person's on an airplane, the airplane's about to crash, everything's going crazy, what is the first person everyone's going to think of? Not your mom, not your dad, not your brother.
Yeah,
Even
people in the-
non-Muslims.
Yeah, people
They're
in the
gonna-
background screaming, Jesus.
Yeah, but you see, the concept is everybody. I believe, I don't care who you are. I don't even think they're gonna say Jesus. They don't even have time to be that specific. They're gonna be, oh God. I bet anything. I'll bet anything, bro. They'll just say, oh God. That's it. Because it's in your fitrah. It's in your fitrah. It's in your heart that you know Allah. None of us can deny that. We met Allah. You know, our soul knows Allah. We came into this world, we just forgot as a test. But at the end of the day, it's in us, you know? And it comes out in those moments. But what I'm saying is that we need to remember that, because as Muslims, we know that, right? So why are we going to only remember Allah when we need help, when we need something? Why don't we remember Allah at all times? All times, you know? Every
Yeah.
moment.
That's good. But like, you know, okay, quickly before I even change the subject, I would like to have my own say of what my favorite name is, a part of the 99 names of Allah. Now, all of his names are very beautiful, mashallah. And as you've touched up on it, you gave a lot of details, mashallah, tabarakallah. May Allah bless you, may Allah reward you. But I'll just basically just cut it short. So, because I could go on for days and days and days, and this episode will be like for 5 hours documentary. But, you know, just for the sake of everyone having their time of share and talk, I'll keep it a little short and juicy, you know what I mean? So, my favorite name of the
Short
99
and juicy
names.
like Benji. What?
What?
God.
Yo,
Hi.
why?
Hi.
God.
Damn,
Oh
what
my
do you want?
God.
Okay. This,
Homosexual?
I'm
I
telling you,
like that.
I think this is why I'm talking about this
Oh
guy
my
might
God.
have to be the most sussest person in this chat.
Chill, I'm not. That's
Oh.
up to you, bro. I just.
But oh my
Uh,
days, that threw me off.
Oh my God. That threw me up too, man. You know, I was
Bro, I
talking.
just have to make it a little late, fam. You know, I want to show mans we're not preachers, bro. We're not sheikhs.
I think you should receive the rest or wrap it up.
Yeah,
folks?
no, let AB continue. Well, this is actually crucial. I don't care if it's a longer episode, man. Let him have it, fam. This is a special
I'm
episode.
gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it short. So basically, my favorite name is literally one of the first names that are mentioned, Ar-Rahman. Now, what do we know about Ar-Rahman? The most and entirely merciful. Now, when I'm saying the most entirely merciful, it's something that is so loving and is so caring, and that he just loves you just for you being yourself. That to the point, if you were following Shaitan for the whole life, 70, 60, 80, 90, 100 years, and just for a second, something goes into your heart, and then you just plead to Allah one last time and say, Ya Allah, I have made this mistake. I was in the error. You know what I mean? Instead of having that arrogant feeling, you say, I was in the error. It was my fault. You regret. You seek forgiveness, and your sins will be wiped out for guarantee. You know what I mean? And even through the time. Oh, sorry, which one?
My bad. Continue.
Because even through the times, like there were like stories of what's gonna come when a man is gonna be sentenced to Jahannam, right? And that man is gonna be going back to, like, he's gonna be pleading to Allah. He's gonna be yelling to Allah, basically in some sort of way. That he's gonna say, "Oh Allah, I did not expect this from you. I did not expect this from you." You know what I mean? He's gonna be crying in tears. And then he's gonna say, well, what did you expect? You have all these sins, all these, like, you know what I mean? Like you've done these sins. Like he's acknowledging that, yo, look at your record. You see all these sins, right? You've done it. So what do you expect? And then he says, I expected that even you, Ya Rabbi, would forgive a person like me. And now that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is
MashaAllah.
witnessing this, he's like, you know what? He called me out by my mercy. Let him go. Enter him to paradise. You know what I
MashaAllah.
mean? So it just shows how loving and merciful Allah is. And I
I'm
feel
pretty
like
sure I heard the story before too.
SubhanAllah, man.
Muhammad
Wallahi.
hopeless, fam. I'm telling you.
Yo, AB,
Muhammad
man.
Hopeful is a guy.
Wallahi,
Yo,
it's a guy.
wallahi, I'm actually happy you brought that one up, and I'm sorry, man. No, I just have to say something because that, wallahi, touches me straight to the core. I think I said this on the podcast before, but everyone knows my name is Abdurrahman, you know? I love my name, and if you give me a goofy nickname, F you. You know who you are.
you know what I heard?
anyways,
Man,
for
my
real,
bad
for
for
real, though.
my bad for
Right.
interrupting, but you know what I heard? That the most loved name by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Abdullah and Abdurrahman.
Yes, sir.
And we have
Slave
both right here.
That means we're
MashaAllah.
special, you feel me? Abdurrahman and
Come on,
Abdullah,
come
we're
on.
special.
Yo,
MashaAllah.
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 Up to
But
shirts is
anyways,
just
yeah, you
mad,
can
fam. That's why he's trying to give me some waste man nicknames, you know?
That
But
short, Benji
anyways,
Juicy.
Guys,
but anyways, what I wanted to say though, I want to add on quickly on that note was the fact that like one of the things that shaped me as like who I am today as a Muslim, and I feel like why I keep on like going on, like I never lose hope, is why I even say PLP, why I'm so hopeful, even though sometimes I shouldn't be because I'm not that guy, is because like my name, and it really hit me when I was in high school and. Since the beginning when I was a kid, I used to tell people just call me Abdul, right? Because when I used to go to the school, like, and they say attendance, they didn't know how to pronounce my name. People used to call me Abdul Rahman or Abdul Rahman. You know, they used to mess up my whole name, butcher it.
Ramen.
Yeah, I hated it, bro.
Ramen.
They used to, yeah, bro, Abdul Rahman
Wow.
noodles. Wallah, they butchered the whole name, fam.
Subhanallah.
Astaghfirullah. So I used to get so mad, and I used to be like, you know what? Just call me Abdul. If you can't pronounce it, just stick to Abdul. That was my name for like the rest of my life at that point. Until one day in grade 9, in my drama class, the icebreaker, the teacher said, yo, we're going to go around the class. Everyone say your name and say why your parents named you, or say what's the meaning of it. So in that moment, it was like my brain was going like 100 miles an hour. It was like thinking, should I say Abdul? Should I say my name? Wow. Like, what should I do? Like, I was stressing a lot. But I was like, yo, you know what? This might be the perfect platform because for the first time, it's not a teacher reading my name. It's me saying my name. It's me giving you the definition. It's me saying why, what about it and what I love about it, you know? And when I got it off my chest for the first time in years, and I said what it meant, slave of the most merciful, wallah, it touched my heart. From that day forward, whenever I feel sad or I feel hopeless or I've sinned too much or I've done something wrong, I always go back to that name. My dua, when I make dua, that's the first name I go to, you know? And the first thing I always come in my mind. And, you know, like,
You felt like a free man, basically.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I have a saying for you guys, though. You ever heard of a slave who has freedom?
No.
That's just supposed to. I wanted to just say that phrase, and if you guys would maybe understand, but anybody else would be like, "Is this guy crazy? What does he mean, a slave who has freedom, the most freedom?" Think about it, man. Everyone in this dunya is a slave to something: money, desires, their own, desires, their own money, their own goals, whatever, you know. But what are we slaves to? We're slaves to Allah,
the Lord,
you know?
the Lord.
So what I'm saying is literally when you're a slave to Allah, it's almost like you become free from all this BS. So, wallah, it's as simple as that, man. And that's the thing that keeps me going on, Ar-Rahman, you know? And I love to get into all the other names, you know? For the quote of the days, we're not doing quote of the days, but I was gonna quote myself actually because I'm that nice. I'm joking, but because I wanted to say one last thing. I wanted to say one last thing. The Up to Sharks amped me too much because the guy's always saying poet on the
Right after that, let me say one advice.
Yeah, go ahead and then I'll see the quote.
Okay, say no more. So my one advice is, brother, if you had to take one thing out of this chat, just take this moment. To the people who are listening, just take this one advice and just contribute it with your life. Now, since we're talking about Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, you, listen carefully, guys, you must show mercy in order to achieve mercy. That's just the only way it's gonna work.
Yeah,
If you
Sirski.
show,
Yo,
if you
yo.
show mercy in this life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will surely show you mercy on the next, and which you need His mercy. Like those times where there's no one around you, like friends are going to be running away from each other, mother and father. Matter of fact, mother and father will be even happy to see you in Jahannam if they're just going to Jannah. You know what I mean?
Allah.
And that's crazy, but it's
Crazy.
just reality. So that's why you have to provide mercy to even the enemies, not the enemies of Allah. Enemies of Allah, you're supposed to act accordingly, like abstain from them. If they attack you, you have all the right to attack them,
The
even kill
ops,
them, right?
basically.
You know
Yeah,
what I
the
mean?
ops.
But if they're like enemies to you for your own personal reasons, like, oh, they're insulting you and whatever, then just respectfully distance yourself from them, but don't go over and beyond and like beat them up and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show
Yo,
mercy because
hey, yo,
kindness
AB2
always
times.
wins.
Can you clip this?
Clips what?
Yo, clip this because you just spit a gem, bro.
You're so big,
Yeah,
fam.
man.
They say the quote of the day, fam.
No,
Wrap it up.
I was gonna
Just
say,
Yo,
do that
yo,
who's
AB2
this?
times, yo, clip this, bro.
Yo,
'cause-
whose man's is this, fam?
Nah, I had to say this one time, bro. He's spitting gems. Well, that actually was so fire, man. You know what it reminded me of? You guys ever see those Hoyas that like somebody kills their son and they forgive the killer?
Yeah.
Bro, none of us would be able to have the strength to do that. But wallah, when I see those Hoyas, I look at those mothers and I say, wallahi, those mothers they have unwavering faith.
Shout out to the
There's-
Hoyas.
So yeah, wallah,
Son is under our mom's feet.
Yeah. But Freeman, can you stop prolonging the quote of the day? We're trying to wrap this up, fam.
Alright, say no more. Quote of the day in terms it's the last thing I'm wrapping it up. We talked about As-Salaam as in one of the 99 names today. And one of the things I just want you all to remember, my quote I'm bringing out is that, keep your desires to the left of your heart, keep your dreams to the right of your heart, but for the front of your heart, keep that only for As-Salaam, keep that for Allah, because He's the one that's everlasting. And all these other things, they disappear. The dreams disappear, they're temporary. Desires temporary. Allah forever. Keep that in the front. Keep Allah in the front of your heart.
Yeah, the whole dunya.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Man, like, comment, subscribe. To be honest with you, we're not sheikhs, but at the end of the day, this is reminders to ourselves and to you. So at the end of the day, find the One Piece.
And subscribe to my OnlyFans. Yeah.
Pause.
Let's get to the
Sure.
OnlyFans. Yo,
I think that's
You already know,
behind the
madam.
scenes.
You already know, madam.
Hello, madam.
GB.
GBL.
PLP.
GB no chief.